Today we will talk about Ireland, which has a great cultural diversity as its gastronomy. Gastronomy of Ireland. In Ireland, meal times are similar to continental Europe. You have an early breakfast, a quick lunch around 12 o'clock, and dinner around 18 o'clock. The best typical dishes of Ireland are Irish stew, chowder, seafood, bacon and baggage, and salmon.
Iron stew. This Ireland's most famous stew, the beef stew. It is made with potatoes, beef, carrot, onion, beer, vegetables, tomatoes, bay leaf, flour, salt, pepper, and oil. Chowder seafood is a seafood soup made with salmon and mixture seafood and potatoes. Bacon and cabbage. It has cooked bacon or smoked bacon, accompanied by with sauce made with flour, butter and meat, plus same vegetable with mashed potatoes. Salmon. It is a smoked salmon fillet with garnish and a specific sauce of the house, also accompanied by mashed potatoes and lemon.
Tourist place in Ireland. Ireland has a huge culture. Parties everywhere. It is a multicultural country with incredible cities and high quality study offers. I will mention three tourist sites.
It is a city that is located in the territory of Kerry, southwest of Ireland, and on the northeast shore of Lake Lane. It forms one of the wonderful stops of the Ring of. Kerry represents a complete tourist destination worth knowing. A sightseeing tour of the entire territory of Kerry Southwest Ireland wide the circuit. You will know different viewpoints and national parks, with an excursion that leads a day by tourist bus or car.
One of the main tourist destinations in Ireland, it is surrounded by rivers and forests, as well as wonderful ancient buildings such as castles and museums full of traditions and legends. Its charming village of colorful houses will leave you fascinated.
Famous artist from Ireland, Oscar Wilde. He is a writer, playwright, and storyteller of the late Victorian period, who knew how to enchant the most exquisite circles of writes and novels. His most important work, but not the only one, was the portrait of Dorian Gray. It remains a reference in world literature even in the 21st century.
This list being complete without Conor McGregor, a UFC fighter popular around the world. His immense talent has earned a UFC award both featherweight and lightweight. Winner of the Gold Globe, he has been fortunate to work on excellent production, such as excellent, great, fantastic beasts where to find them, Tudor Regaud, Winter Steel, Miami Vice, and anymore. He has been named the most prolific actor, and the world stage takes to display performance as the gators.
James Joyce is the writer and novelist that achieved worldwide fame with his novel Ulysses, an extraordinary narrative about a Jewish boy in his adventure on the streets of Dublin. The complexity of this is a continued reference to the Odyssey of the Greeks that makes a work great complexity.
The capital of Ireland is Dublin. The official language Irish and English. The currency the euro. Science January 1, 1999. Was previously the Irish pound. The form of governmental a representative republic.
Ireland belonged to the United Kingdom until December 6, 1922. the day of which it achieved independence. It is thus transformed into a parliamentary republic. The head of state is the president, who is elected in direct elections for a term of 7 years. He has representative functions and can only be re-elected once. It is assigned by the Council of State, which is an advisory body.
Executive power rests with the Prime Minister, who is appointed by the President after the nomination or Parliament. He is therefore the leader of the party, with the most seats in Parliament. The President governs with a maximum of 15 ministers.
The island for Ireland is traditionally divided into four regions of provinces: Leinster, Ulster, which include the UK Northern Ireland, Connacht and Munster.
The Republic of Ireland is divided into 26 counties. In addition, the cities of Dublin, Cork, Galway, Limerick, and Waterford are administered separately, and the borough of Clonmel, Drogheda, Kilkenny, Sligo, and Wexford have an autonomy within their counties.
History for Ireland. The year 1916 marked a before and after for Ireland. On April 24 of just a century ago, coinciding with S Monday, several organizations of Republican and independent tendency began an armed insurrection in Dublin that has been considered the beginning of the process of Irish emancipation. Ireland, an island with a population of Celtic origin and Catholic religion, suffered an invasion by the English monarchy that began in the Middle Ages. The conquest accelerated at the beginning of the 17th century and was definitively consolidated after 100 years. Beyond the control of the highest spheres of power, the occupation also meant the colonization of the island by people of British origin and Protestant confession.
The colonizing population, coming from Scotland and England, gained control of Irish political power and took ownership of farmland, the main means of the subsistence at the time, since the Catholic and Irish community has been subject to constant discrimination, margination, and reprisals, with no political rights or means to feed themselves or property economically. The Gaelic population lost their own language in favor of English and was breeding ground of emigration. In this context, the violence has become the last resource to respond against the abuse of power of the British Empire.
Finally, the rebellion against the British authorities was launched on April 24, 1916, as it was Easter Monday. It coincided with a day of religious celebrations for the Irish Catholic community that has become symbolic. The aim of the rebels was to spread the revolt to the whole island, but the uprising did not occur throughout the territory.
While Belfast chose not to act due unionist permanence, the insurrection was centralized in Dublin, where more than 2,000 armed people were mobilized to occupy the strategic and symbolic position in the city.
The military command of the rebellion set up its headquarters at the General Post Office in Dublin. From there, Republican-led patriots make a declaration of independence, proclaim the Republic of Ireland, and emerges the charge of the new provincial government.